Alright, so, phone got too hot and cut off the footage. But yeah, it's doing really well, no doubt about it. It's so thick over here, and I think, I don't know, maybe we'll be taller. Alright, Dendrobium stratiotes, by the way. Alright, next. Alright, here we have a little cutie, a very expensive little cutie, but I digress. This is Dendrobium munificum, although previously known as inobulbon, munificum, but it's currently a Dendrobium. It's not in great. It didn't arrive to me in great shape at all, but I'm hoping that with this new growth, it will eventually make its way through the troubles here. This leaf is doing particularly well, so I'm not too worried. But either way, I need to make sure that we take good care of this guy. Next. Okay, Epicattleya, I believe. I'm not too sure. Epicattleya, Aroma Grande. So it came with me these two growths here. It doesn't really show. There you go. 1 and 2, and they've been extending pretty well. They've got pretty rigid leaves. It's actually pretty great. But other than that, nothing much to report. Seems to be doing well in the current very windy, often dry, often wet cycle. I put it through, so pretty tall too, as you can see. Alright, next. Encyclia garciana. There's this growth. Well, this growth right here is the one that's the furthest along as of late. There's this growth. There's that growth over here. But the interesting thing is that over here on this one, on this sheath, seems to be filling out. Let me get a light in here. There you go. Oh, it popped out actually. So we might be getting something here. Can we? Okay, let me get manual focus here. There you go. Something's coming out. And also, this one is starting to fill out with something right here. Neat! I might get flowers soon. Very, very soon. I like the non-recipient flowers that these get. Alright, next. Alright, all three of these are Eulophia andamanensis, also known as Eulophia keithii. I got these earlier than this one, actually, but these were sourced from Thailand. They came all the way from Thailand, and they came in a packed, small, like, envelope, with them all stuck in there with barely any growth coming out. And now they're starting to pop out there. They have some new roots, and I just recently repotted them in these two separate containers because they were all in one container. They were all in this, and they were starting to get a lot of roots, so I needed to separate them and give them a little bit more room. I put them in bark instead of just pure moss this time around, so we'll see how that turns out. And of course, this big one I got from the U.S. after I had purchased this one like a month before, and so yeah, this one's doing really well. Came to me that way. Nothing to report except if you just pull off some moss and pieces here, you'll see that they have some good roots, like that one. That's great. There's some roots over here too somewhere. I don't want to dig too much. Either way, it's healthy. Very healthy. Next. Epidendrum, no ID. Though, if I remember correctly, the flowers were orange and red when I saw it in the Orchid Society a long while ago, and I believe that would be Epidendrum radicans, but I'm not too sure. Radicans? Either way, it's doing alright. Nothing much to report. Look, a new root. Yay! Next. Alright, here we have Galeandra baueri, which I've shown pictures on Facebook to certain groups and certain people. And, oops, there you go. Good look at this. Oops. Let's just manual focus this. It's a nice flower. Very nice. It's actually lightly fragrant. I didn't read anything about fragrance, but after I had it home for a bit, it started showing some fragrance when I sniffed at it. It's very nice, mild, sweet fragrance. Now you might see these yellow leaves down here, and it's actually caused by light burn. I brought some of these purple lights a little too close to it, apparently. Maybe about 8 inches away from beneath, and it did not like it. So you can see like a clear, distinct, area where the light was really just too bright for it, I guess. So I'll keep that in mind. It doesn't like too bright a light compared to some other ones in here. All right, next. And here we have Habenaria medusae, which unfortunately, wouldn't you know it, the little thing that was out here, I broke it. I broke it. Well, no flower for me this year, I suppose. So the only hope is that I make it happy enough that it grows the corm beneath here very, very well. We'll see how that turns out. Any of y'all who are familiar with Habenaria, let me know how to best take care of these, because still, I don't like how the leaves look. I don't know what I need to change in my care to make sure that they don't look so, I don't know, ratty. Yeah, they look so not great. Yeah, see that? So I need to figure out what I want to do with that. Next. Alright, let's continue. Here we have two things. We have Laelia come on, focus please. Laelia brevicaulis. Laelia brevicaulis. Why aren't you focusing? Good grief. There you go. Took you long enough. And it's been doing quite well. Well, not quite well, but it's showing signs of progression. Where is it? Where are you? Ah, let me turn that on. And let me get... There, you see that? A little purple nubbin. There you go. That is a new growth. So it's doing quite well. Excellent. Glad to see. Next. So this poor thing, Rndta Prasong Sunrise or something like that. It was the one that dealt with crown rot in my care. I didn't realize it was crown rot until it was too late. You can see here, this stump here was where all the big leaves were, and all that's left is this tiny little thing. I doubt it's gonna make it, but I ain't giving up on it until it's all completely shriveled up and gone. So we'll see how it turns out. Next. Macodes petola is doing perfectly fine, except for this leaf. This leaf has been getting a lot of foliar spray as of late, and it's not been liking it. But everything else has been, well, honestly gorgeous. I mean, take a look at those glittery leaves. Oh yeah, see that sheen? See that? Oh, I love this. It's so pretty. Next. Both Maxillaria ochreleuca, the replacement, and this salvaging of the one that didn't do so well, seems to be doing all right. Over here, there is some growths making a comeback. Hold on. Can I get a flash, please? Thank you. There you go. Some growths here, and some growths in there. So it's trying to make its comeback. I'm giving it some time. Making sure not to water in between the bulbs so that it doesn't have any idea of rotting. Hello, air plant. Same thing here. I've been making sure that water goes down the sides, not deep in between all the bulbs. So as far as I'm concerned, things have been looking pretty alright. Alright. Maxillaria ochreleuca, the peach-smelling kind of Maxillaria. Next. And over here we have Maxillaria tenuifolia, which has been, well, roots and growths every which way. The rotten part of the previous thing is gone. I removed it. But everything else, yeah, it's looking alright. Lots of growths here and there. Lots of roots there. So I'm not too worried. Looking pretty good. Next. Here's Oeceoclades. It's doing perfectly fine. That newest growth is continuing to extend. Look at that right there. Hello, friend. And then there's this one that's still continuing to unfurl. This one over here beneath this leaf, this pair is doing quite well. Everything seems to be fine on this front. Nothing to really say other than that. All is well. Next. So here's my very, very silly Oncidium Sherry baby with the weirdest flower opening pattern I've ever seen. And it's just throwing out flowers and whatever branches it feels like. So here's something to note. I've been keeping it kind of moist, and this pseudobulb, which was perfectly fat, now has a nice thick crease over here, which means maybe I haven't been watering it enough, maybe I haven't been giving it enough nutrients, maybe it's just not humid enough. I don't know. I'm thinking that it's maybe not humid enough for it to grow nicely. Other than that, because I know I've been giving it quite a bit of fertilizer. I mean, it decided to throw out 4 spikes. I mean, come on. I can't imagine it's that dumb to throw out 4 spikes that it can't sustain. But, you know, there's always room for you. Grower's error, so who knows? Who knows? I also, not the spike, but I broke the other spike. But it was already kind of far along, so I'm not too sad that I broke it off at that point. It's still pretty sizable. But I want it to grow nice, but I think I have to take it out of these super hot conditions that keep my room in. So, next. Phalaenopsis pantherina. I repotted it in something smaller because it was taking up too much space and the roots weren't that extensive. So, yeah, it's in the smaller pot. Nothing else to really report. Next. Paraphalaenopsis labicensis. Anything to report? Not really. That root continues to get super long. No sign of the other roots reaching the sides just yet, but yeah, it still seems to be thriving, so no issues here. I don't see any wrinkling on this leaf over here, so I think we're all good thus far. Next. Paphiopedilum superbiens is still in bloom. I love this thing. It is such a pretty flower. Pretty? Yeah, that's not the word for it. For me, at least. I say it's handsome. Just look at that. Just look at that. Look at that gorgeous... I love it. And these leaves too. Mostly white. I can't get over it, really. It's fantastic. Next. Alright, Paphiopedilum maudiae hybrid. Not in good shape. The fan that had the most recent flower died back completely and brown. And the nicest looking new growth that was on that portion also died back. What's left is this one that was still on the browned out fan, but has been clean thus far. I've been keeping it in front of this filtering fan. I've been leaning that over and putting that directly in front of it. And I've been making sure that it doesn't get like over fertilized water. I make sure the water is pretty neutral in comparison to other to my usual acidic mix. And so far nothing seems to be going wrong, but it's not in great shape. Hopefully it bounces back. I'm not too fond of this plant, but you know, I don't like seeing anything die, so hopefully it bounces back pretty well. Next. Phalaenopsis cornucervi, I don't really know. Variation Chatelardiae. It's doing its thing. Nothing to report. I think this leaf is starting to grow bigger, but there's no sign of life on the unbroken flower spikes anywhere. They're just kind of sitting there. I guess it's taking its time to adjust to the new conditions that I'm providing it. Who knows? Let me just put this on auto. Thank you. But I do like these red spots, reddish purplish spots on these leaves. They are actually very nice leaves. I can grow it for the leaves alone, honestly. Nah, not for leaves alone, but the leaves are nice to look at while the flowers are away. Next. Phalaenopsis, little one, what's going on with you? Well, the leaf, I think, is about the exact same size as this one. Or at least the exact same length. However, this one's thicker. This is a thicker leaf. And these roots, these aerial roots, are the most ridiculous roots. Like, I have roots down there that don't like to show themselves, that are probably the main drinkers. I don't see it right now. But they don't really show themselves compared to this one. It really likes these aerial roots. It's just, it wants to be a pilot. And that's its dream. It's a pilot. Pilot fowl. That's what it is. You do you, man. Flower for me soon, eh? Okay. Next. Phalaenopsis gigantea, variation alba, and by Ta Wei. Yeah, gigantea, variation alba, Ta Wei. Anywho, the leaf continues to grow big, though it's quite slow, in my opinion. But you know, it is a Phalaenopsis gigantea, so it's supposed to be very slow growing. That being said, I don't know, I'm seeing everyone else racing ahead of it. But hey, it's a very healthy looking leaf. I can't complain. Uh-oh. I didn't see that before. Oh no. Better not scratch it. Okay. But everything else, the roots, oh yeah, the roots are fine. Next. Alright, this is the small rescue fowl in the glass jar. Anything to report other than this leaf is finally bigger than that leaf. So that's nice to see, and it's got a new root coming along. Other than that, no, we're good. It's all good here. Oh, I'm going to lose this leaf soon, I'm pretty sure. Other than that, yeah, that's it. This silly thing. Roots. More roots. I heard you like roots. I heard I do like roots. I do like roots. I mean, I like roots, but this is a. I could put some spaghetti sauce in this. Oh, good grief! It's got so many roots. It's actually kind of charming, but it's also kind of like, but I'd like a flower spike too, please. So this was the fat leaf that I mentioned that matured. This is still maturing. It doesn't feel as fat as this one. This one though. And then this leaf is, well, it's growing out. So, and it's got a lot of roots. I hope this one isn't a dud, because good grief. Bah, that's a bit much. I mean, like, what are you even? I don't know. Please spike for me. Thanks. And this is the fully opened Rescue Phalaenopsis Big. I like these flowers, honestly. They're quite nice. I like those whiskers over here. I like the coloring, the patterning, the velvety dark brown lip inside the throat. It's just such a lovely flower. It's actually very becoming. I don't mind it. I was gonna give it to someone else, but never mind, I'm keeping you. You are alright. I like you. Plenty of new roots. Strange thing. A lot of roots that are kind of just rotting in the middle. Like, you see a healthy tip, but it just rotted in the middle. Same thing with a few in there. If anyone has any reasons why that would be happening, that would be great. But otherwise, nothing much. I can see some insects in there, but I don't think they're the harmful kind. But if anyone wants to tell me I'm wrong, I'll listen to a degree. You know, I think those are just detritivores, basically the ones that eat up the dead tissue. I don't think they really attack the new tissue, but hey, someone more experienced than well, let me know. But otherwise, hey, it seems to be doing alright. Next. Foul Pylos Dragon. Nothing much except this leaf, I believe, is getting to the length of this one pretty soon. It looks pretty good to me. Anything to really say? I don't know. Oh, am I doing this upside? Oh, come on. Is it really upside down? Yeah, like this. Please. Alright. Things are turning out alright. Yeah, it's doing alright. Nothing much to say. Next. So say hello to No ID, Peloric Phalaenopsis. It's been downstairs in the kitchen for a bit because, well, Mother likes to see the flowers. But, good news, more exciting news for me, is that, where are you? I'm finally getting new roots. Yes, I'm finally getting new roots. So, good. I think that's all I want to see. Because, like, these leaves don't look great. I mean, yeah, they don't look great. But, I think this fowl prefers cooler temperatures. This is, it's only after I left it in the kitchen, which is much cooler, and with less light, that it started putting out some roots. So, I guess I just don't need to keep it up here too much. I just need to bring some nice light downstairs so that it can feel pretty good in cooler temperature. Me and cool growers don't get along that well. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. And then lastly? No, not lastly even. But anywho, Phalaenopsis, Jiaho's Hot Summer, I believe, or Hot Summer. Let me get you a proper tag here. Never mind, I can't be bothered. But this is a pretty famous Phalaenopsis. Very beautiful patterning, very lovely colors, and it smells good. Let me see. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice and fragrant. Sweet fragrance. Sweet flowery fragrance. My tongue is tying up. Next. Stanhopea tigrina nigroviolacea. What do we have? Well, the fattest leaf ever. Haha. This leaf is starting to thicken up at the bottom. Hopefully it will be just as big as this one. And we got 1, 2, 3 growths already putting out new leaves. It's doing really well. Nothing else to say, really. Trichopilia suavis. The leaf continues to grow from the nicest looking maturing bulb. And some roots are becoming more visible. Yeah, it's doing quite well. That's all. Next. Big boy, Galeopedilum, part of the Zygopetalum genera. Looks like at most we'll get 2 bulbs from, or 2 flowers from this growth. The previous growth on this one didn't have any flowers, but this one will be the first flowering from this lead. And this is the previously flowering one, and it's got 1 and 2. So I'm expecting a good amount of flowers from here. And then there's a growth in here, but it's hard to see. It's in there. Trust me on that one. And lastly, No ID zygo. This growth continues to grow up, and that growth is still there. Nothing else to report other than this flower spike is about to die off fully. Maybe I'll just cut it off preemptively. Either way, that's my whole collection. Also, this is thickening up. Oh, I should have said that this is thickening up too on my Galeopedilum. It's nice and thick.